Before I read this story, this is a newer story. It's upcoming, being published in an American journal at some point. I'm not sure when yet. But just to give a bit of background, this is sort of my sort of ode to the London Underground. I live in Willesden Green in London, and I've become sort of mildly obsessed. There's sort of a couple of disused platforms at Willesden Green Station. And it all came out of that really, so it's sort of my slightly obsessive interest in basically a disused bit of concrete. But I think for anyone who's here who is a Londoner will understand that sort of slightly odd fascination with public transport. So it's about that. It's called Platforms. The network exposed in daylight is an oddity. Where the Jubilee line breaks cover at Finchley Road, I brace myself for a vulgarity of exposed wires and intertwined tracks. The indignity of seeing the true colours of the trains I travel on. Having relocated my life to the northwest of the city, I'm still adjusting, wishing the obvious chaos of the city was swathed in shadow, easy to ignore, not left out in the sun like an accusation. The colours of my journeys are now grey and deep maroon, sometimes air-conditioned orange, not bruised black and blue I always felt at home with. I will admit though, I get an illicit thrill seeing the dirt and the coiled cables in natural light rather than the sodium strip layer of the tunnels. It's like a photograph showing a hint of flesh. Each morning at Willesden Green, the dead platform opposite stares blankly back at me within spitting distance, but always out of reach. Its twin lurks behind, and I feel its presence gently nudging my spine. Elsewhere on the network, you have to strain and struggle with a squinted eye to grab a glimpse of the dead stations, the decommissioned platforms, the branches that withered and died, subterranean zones of the mine's dark night, populated by forgotten cockney troglodytes, murderous sons of unethical surgeons, transatlantic werewolves, ravers trapped after hours. They're all films, by the way. They're the places that capture the imagination, cinematic, friendly to writers, place hackers, the swelling multitude obsessed with urban decay. My useless platforms at Willesden Green are there for all to see, though many don't, not really. They're neither used nor in full disrepair, and as such, no one cares. It took me a while to notice them. With no information signs or wasp-coloured warnings, the dead platforms lack context. They remain enigmatic and troubling, best ignored. There are shuttered gates just to the left of the beeping oyster barriers blocking access to a redundant stairwell leading down to one of the platforms. Every morning I try and picture it thronged with travellers in outdated clothing, no one fiddling with phones, no tinny noise leaking from ears. These ghosts wait patiently. Some read papers or novels popular at the time, and some simply stand there and wait. The most enjoyable part of my commute is Finchley Road. In the morning there's a kind of quiet desperation. The Jubilee and Metropolitan line trains race each other on almost parallel tracks en route to the station, the only useful interchange for many stops. Commuters come crushing in from Wembley, Watford, as far afield as Chesham and Amersham, out in Buckinghamshire. Zone 9, a load of rubbish. I see smart, neat women clutching Kindles, frustrated that I can't see what they're reading. Fat, short-breathed businessmen gingerly eyed the Metline train, trying to read whether its destination is Aldgate or Baker Street. When the doors hiss open, a mad rush across the platform from one carriage to the other. I've seen fists bang in closing doors, heard shrieks of irritation when the timing is off. Beep, 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 the sound of the morning's failure. Doomed to wait at the platform for another 5-6 minutes, the foiled travellers pace back and forth like inmates in the yard, sighing as they thumb their phones, eyes darting back and forth from the information board. I never minded myself. If I miss the connection, I can soak up the ambience of the station, watch the orange-jacketed staff mumble into microphones, make decisive hand signals, feel the vigorous ebb and flow of human traffic. Once I stood at Finchley Road with a 5-minute wait for my connection, while a dishevelled man in a creased suit, eyes flaming with coke, alcohol and a sleepless night, raved and ranted at us, the commuters, scolded us for our lack of vision, imagination, how we were all just sheep, merrily walking into Mammon's Moor. I noticed how his tie hung loose, but not slack, like in popular American films I'd seen long ago. His skin was greasy, stubble was reclaiming his face. It was 8:45 AM, I'd heard the point made before. I feel a kind of family kinship with my platform. I like to watch the minarets of the central Brent Mosque, rising up above the line of nondescript buildings, aqua green and off-white, kind of toothpaste colour. I read cheery signs for Jewish dating websites and ponder what life is like in such unimaginable places like Queensbury and Stanmore. How your whole life could be spent in one place that, to me, is just a dot on a thick grey line. I stand looking at the decommissioned platforms, watching them, waiting for something to happen. They were there, once, to serve the Met and Bakerloo lines. Now only a few weeds colonise the concrete. Budden makes patient inroads and green parakeets dart overhead. 2 stops down the line, Japanese knotweed got into West Hampstead and they had to level an entire earth bank, raised it to the ground in terror. That plant doesn't mess around. I have a strange wish for it to be here to honour my station with its presence. As always, the weekend passes. Monday comes too soon and I'm back at my station, waiting. I have hot coffee from a franchise outlet in hand. I'm 1 red stamp away from a freebie. That's tomorrow's treat. A few school kids who must be running late are laughing about. A middle-aged woman in what looks like a wig rolls her eyes. Across the tracks, platforms stay silent. I board the train, pull the novel I bought the day previous out of my backpack and sip my schooling coffee. I look out at the smudged glass on my dead platform, the Budden swaying a little in the breeze. There's a man standing there, waiting. I look at him. He's in his mid-50s, I guess, hair with a carbon date of somewhere around 1982, a shabby suit that has touch of the official to it. He stands there politely, neither smiling or frowning, his gaze somewhere in the middle distance. An insistent burst of grass forces its way up through a crack in the platform by his left foot. Face up at the window and try and see if he holds keys, a clipboard, some notebook or some kind of surveying equipment to justify his presence. But no. He simply holds his hands together and rocks gently back and forth on his heels. I see his lips purse as he begins to whistle the tune of some forgotten pop. The train pulls away. I watch the man still rocking on his heels until he's out of sight. I debate whether to jump off at the next stop, head straight back, somehow break onto the platform, interrogate his interloper. I'll have work and I don't want to be late. I hear the screech of parakeets somewhere high up in the grey sky. I admire his dedication. No, he's training around the cup. Thank you.